He's a serial startup operator who's dedicated his career to scaling organizations. He's currently working with Keen. Please welcome Mike Althoff.
Thank you. Hello. All right. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. As you just heard, my name is Mike Althoff. Can you hear me? Yes. Good. And I thought I'd throw my picture up 7 times in this talk. So here's the second. You can count along with me. My name is Mike Althoff. I work at Keen Decision Systems. And if you heard my intro, I am a SaaS operator. So if your BS meter's going off, this guy can't know anything about digital marketing because he has no experience, you're pretty much right. I am not a digital marketer, so applaud your alarm, and it's well tuned. What I am, however, is fortunate enough to, over the last 2 years, have gotten to work with a team of incredible marketing analytics and marketing investment decision folks who have worked tirelessly over, I can actually say, decades, to help brands, predominantly large consumer packaged good brands to date, many of which you see on the shelves of Target, Walmart, and the grocery stores that you might go to, figure out how to spend their marketing dollars in the most effective way to drive financial contribution to their business. And that gets me really excited, not only as a technologist who believes that we can use computers to be better, be more efficient, serve one another, but also because I've seen the results of what Keen is able to do. So what I'm going to do in the remaining time here is make an analogy that might tie what I see as a non-marketer going on in the world of marketing as it relates to digital. So the number I'm going to throw up here is 15,000. We could play fun guess and answer. What is this number? But I'm just going to give you the answer. 15,000 is the average number of times a human blinks on any given day. And why am I talking about blinking? Well, if you think about a blink as a decision, there's this micro moment that our brain as a processor has gone through where it's collected lots of data, right? It's perhaps measured the wetness of our eye, the wind that we're facing, the last time we blinked, and it said, you know what, now's the time next to blink again. And there's more blinking. And over the course of the day, we've got this brain of ours that's processing what feels like unintentionally at this point, is processing these decisions and making the choice to blink. When I say a decision, I'm talking about drawing a conclusion after consideration, after taking in data. And one of the things that that Keen does is we help marketers make decisions. But decisions 30 years ago, it was actually great to get the marketing timeline, because I was going to say about 30 years ago, but before the World Wide Web in 1993, before there was a digital, marketers' decisions were very different. You know, there was, and that's not to say they weren't creative or challenging, but different. You know, there was your set of copy, there was your set of imagery that you may use, and then there were very specific channels that you could deploy marketing in. There was television, there was print, there was radio, there was out-of-home and in-store promotion. There were very specific channels with a significant supply chain to actually engage in those channels. So a marketer may actually decide on the copy and the messaging, make a purchase order, wait some amount of 0 to 180 or 360 days before it actually landed on TV, and then hope the product got purchased. Well, that whole world, as you might imagine, has blown up with digital marketing. Right now, in the old world, where you might actually have the time and space to make the decisions that you want to focus on, digital has changed that. Now, marketers have to rely on other ways to get the decisions that they need to make made. And that is where, maybe, marketers have to learn to blink. So what I mean by blink is actually relying on the tools and the abilities of decision support tools like what Keen does to actually make the decisions for them. And that's not to say that they're not involved in tuning what the decisions may be and defining their goals. But ultimately, if we think about digital is this world where now there's all sorts of new channels, things like e-commerce sites, social media sites, many of the logos we've seen here in the first 2 presentations. If you go the next level down, marketers now have the option to choose what messaging and what imagery they might deliver to a specific geography, to a specific demographic, until GDPR and other things, all the way down to the specific individual consumer. They can make a choice about what they want to say to an individual. How do you make the right decision about when and where to put your dollar as a marketer to get the right message across? I think the answer is the machines. Maybe. Now, this is not a threat that the robots are coming, but I believe that the right tools that are enabled by software are what marketers must rely on and are certainly beginning to rely on, as we saw in one of the graphics from earlier, that are supporting them and giving them confidence to make de-risked and many of the high-pressure decisions that they are faced with every day. Keen has a decision-making platform that, right out of the box today, what we enable marketers to do, if they're considering where and how they might move digital money from online search or into TikTok, they can actually go into the platform and say, hey, what if? And before they ever put $1 into market or deal with whatever the reactions are of the market, they can use a model that's informed by historical data and continuously updating information empowered by machine learning and AI to actually have a high degree of confidence that before that dollar ever makes it into market, it's going to meet the goals of their business. That's what we believe decision support can be for marketers. So from my perspective, as a non-marketer, I'm really excited about the advent of how technology solutions are going to support digital marketers, not only to meet the scale that they are trying, the objectives that they're trying, get the right KPIs, cost per clicks, et cetera, but I actually believe and would hypothesize that with the advent of the tooling that is coming alongside digital marketing to support the right decisions and the right investment optionality, marketers are now entering into a place where, unlike what I think they've had to deal with over the last 30 years of navigating this growing uncertainty and tooling, they'll actually be able to revert back to some of that strategic creativity and ingenuity of marketers of past. And I believe it's actually this digital support that technologies like what Keen does actually in supporting digital marketing decisions is going to unlock a whole nother level of creativity. My hope is that with tooling, we're going to teach digital marketers how to blink. Thank you.
Good stuff there. Questions about the intersection between technology and marketing? Raise your hand. You could get some sunscreen out of it. Not going to lie. It's good stuff. All right, any questions here? Got one right up front.
So if you've got a machine learning approach to helping marketers make these decisions, what does the training data look like? Where does it come from?
Yeah, that is a very reasonable question. So one of the things that we talk about with our own clients is moving down the value chain as they're thinking about their dollars. So where you might put millions of dollars versus where you might put tens or hundreds or thousands of dollars is really the first decision we're really pushing clients to ask. And I think it starts to answer the question you're getting at, which is, there's obviously infinite amounts of data. How do you know what the right data is? And frankly, it's not necessarily the machine learning that's valuable. It's having a tool that gives you a view that is data informed into the ecosystem that you're investing in that is the first step. And so the machine learning is really teaching. It's more machine teaching at this point in such a way that, that marketers are using data properly for the decisions they make.
Excellent. Other questions about the intersection of technology and digital marketing? We've got one that came in on social media using the hashtag RTP180. That question was, with the ever-changing landscape of privacy versus marketing, how do you balance that, and what sort of opportunities do you see in the future given the increasing emphasis on user privacy?
Yeah, so from a Keen perspective, we always are asking what decision are you making? And so one of the realities of the decision you might be making is you can't decide what you're going to give to an individual consumer because of the privacy laws. We actually think that's okay, and that just becomes a reality or a constraint on the decision you're supporting. And so from our perspective, privacy doesn't prevent marketers from delivering the right marketing strategy to market. it actually just adds a constraint into the way they need to think about going to market. And so from our perspective, yes, it will have an impact on where you might invest and how you might have data about where you invested, but it should not, in particular as the optimizations and the solvers get faster, should not actually have much of an impact on the ability to put the dollars where the impact is matching the sales.
Excellent. Other questions about digital marketing and technology? Raise your hand. While you think of one, I've got one because I'm a software developer myself.
All right.
And there is a natural tension, I think, between software development, product, and marketing. Both sides kind of have traditionally a somewhat antagonistic relationship between each other. But how does good marketing enable strong software to thrive in a way that just software by itself might not?
Whoa.
That's right.
Yeah, you got me there. How does good software development, how do marketing and software work together?
Right. A lot of software developers don't think they need marketing. Like, I built a great product, people will just come find it.
Yeah.
But you need marketing to
Yeah.
get the word out there.
Yeah, I'm going to expand the question a little bit to say the beauty of what we think about when we're thinking about whether and where to invest marketing dollars is you can build a model that'll show whether you do or don't need to put money towards marketing your product. And you can actually evaluate, do you have goals that you want to reach? Are there revenue goals that you want? Are there adoption goals? And if the data is not showing that you're doing that, then there's probably a mathematical conversation that could be had around your software needing some marketing.
All right, any other questions about software and digital marketing? Going once, going twice. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for
Thank you.
Mike Althoff.